Virgo, welcome. Let's see what messages Spirit has for you. Straight to the point here. Let's get a general message for Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Got a lot of things going on. My cards are like flipping out everywhere. Might have to sort some situations out. I don't know what that means, but like, I don't know, maybe you got to clean your house, or maybe you just got to organize something. Something's just got to be organized. You need to find a way through somewhere. I don't know what that means to you or how that means, but if you feel like that message is for you, well, it is. All right, Spirit, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for Virgo. What messages do we have? You're the first sign that the cards actually flipped out from this deck, so just so you know. I know you guys like to feel special. 3 of Castles. Castles are coins in this deck, followed by the 4 of Castles, the 8 of Crips, that's cups, the 7 of Claws, swords, and the 4 of Candles. Candles are wands. All right, Virgo, what do you got going on? 3 coins, the castles. Some of you are contemplating walking away from a collaboration with somebody that no longer is serving a purpose to you. I'm also going to pull one more, Justice. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm seeing here with the 3 of coins, you have a collaboration with someone that could be partner related in terms of business, could be friends, could be family, could be anything really. Whatever this collaboration is, it's something that you truly, truly do hold dear to your heart with the 4 of Castles, right? So the 4 of coins. You genuinely care about this collaboration, whether that's, let's say this is a job, right? So your coworkers, maybe you really love your coworkers, but you're not very fond of your bosses. You really like your bosses and your coworkers, but you hate what you do for a living. So whatever this is, it is something that you care about. And it is coins, so I'm going to say it's work related. But with the 8 of Cups, or Crips, you are really, really contemplating walking away from it. So a lot of you are probably on the verge of quitting a job. And it sucks for you because you genuinely either love what you do or you love the people that you work with. And so that's what's creating a little bit of a tower moment for you. But just know with the 7 of Claws, which would be the 7 of Swords, to the 4 of Candles, to the Justice, you need to find a strategy to create a better, I guess, like, situation for yourself, right? So even though you may not want to walk away from this job or these people, for whatever reason, you're being guided to be strategic because you need to find a better home life balance situation or work life situation. So what I'm saying here is that you may not want to leave something because of the people or the work itself, but in the end, when you do, it's actually going to be better for you. So for example, maybe this is a job that consumes the majority of your time, right? Maybe you work a shift schedule where you're working 12 hours a day, you're working 4 days a week, or it's more than that, right? Maybe you've got rotating days, and even though it brings good money, you're kind of neglecting your own life balance, right? Home life balance. So whatever it is that you choose to do next is actually going to create a balance for you with the Justice card. So where you might be putting a little bit too much time and effort into your work, you're going to find something that allows you to not have to work as hard for almost the same amount of money. And if you hate your job, you're going to find a job that you genuinely love, and you're going to feel more harmonious because of it. And again, this is all about creating balance. So a lot of the times, I mean, it's the reality, right? a lot of the time we hate a job, but we love our coworkers. So we're like, well, that's the silver lining. We can put up with it. But if it's not serving your soul's purpose, that's why it bothers you the way that it does. I know that there were plenty of jobs that I would work and I would hate and I would dread going in because I'm like, I know I'm supposed to be doing something else. And I'm not abiding or going by my soul's higher purpose. And so every day it bothered me until finally one day I quit. I loved my coworkers. I had a really good time. I made really great money, but it just wasn't my soul's purpose. So a lot of you could be are being thrusted into a different type of work because it is aligning you with your purpose. Others of you are trying to strategize how to get out of a situation because you genuinely don't want to do it anymore. You could just be fed up with what you do. Even the fact that you love your coworkers isn't even enough to want you to make you save your job. So whatever it is that you're doing, you could also be looking for a job secretly, right, with the Seven of Swords. So you're not telling anybody about this. So nobody knows that you're actually looking for work or an opportunity outside of what you currently have. But I see you finding it, and it brings you a lot of harmony and balance. All right, what other messages do we have for Virgo? Messages do we have for the sign of Virgo? What messages, Spirit, do you have for the sign of Virgo? What messages do you have? We have the Six of Cups. Let me see, Six of Cups, Fool. What is that? The Page of Pentacles. You also had another card that flipped. Where are you? Yep. The Nine of Cups. And one more. What is this pertaining to, Spirit? Just love and money. One more. Oh. It is money. All right. So money could be on the brain this month for you. Leo kind of got the same message. Only they've been putting into action to make their money kind of increase. Not to say that you're not, but from what I'm seeing here is the Six of Cups, the Fool, Page of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, to the Ace of Pentacles. So this is definitely a money message for you. Some of you might be going back to doing something that you used to do and making more money doing it. So for example, if there was let's say you used to work in retail, right? You worked in retail as a teenager into your 20s, you ended up leaving, you got into a different career field, you are stagnant in that career field, but you've gotten enough like experience and wisdom to a point where you're like, okay, in the meantime, I don't want to do the corporate stuff anymore, so I'm going to go back to retail because that's what I know. And then you get hired on like as a supervisor and you're really, really good at it and you enjoy it and the money's actually pretty good. So something along those lines. You go back to something that you used to do, and it's technically it's a new beginning, even though it's something like towards the past, but you kind of take a leap of faith on it. And it works out because at first you're like Page of Pentacles, right? You're like, well, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do it. And it's just like in the meantime, in between time. But then you think that you're going back as like a cashier. And then it turns out you're going back as like a supervisor. Because they're like, hey, like you have experience. We're looking for someone. Plus you have XYZ experience in something else. And so it ends up becoming a Nine of Cups. It's a wish fulfillment for you. And it is a guided spiritual blessing. So now not only are you doing something that you enjoyed doing for a really long time, you're actually making decent money doing it, you're having fun, the energy's flowing, and you're no longer in a situation where you don't want to be, right? So I see you finding fulfillment in terms of your career, doing something you love or used to love. Now, some of you could be picking up a hobby or doing something that you used to do as a child and turning that into a career. So maybe you used to sing, maybe you used to play the guitar, maybe you used to write anything. I see you going back to it, and I see it, at first it slowly moves, right? You're like, well, let's say for example, you're like, I used to paint. I used to paint as a kid, and I've always been good at it. And so then you start painting, right? And even though it doesn't bring a lot of money, it brings some money, right? So maybe at this point it's just like a side hustle. But what it's doing is it's bringing emotional fulfillment. You're like, man, like it may not bring in the most money, but I'm able to pay X amount of bills, and it allows me to just work a part-time job somewhere else, and it gives you more time to paint. Creates that fulfillment, right? But then because it's creating that fulfillment and that positive energy, you have more time to perfect your skill to the point where it actually brings in more abundance for you. And so because you took a chance and you took a leap of faith, and it's funny that I chose drawing and painting actually, because Virgos are really, really artistic. So for some of you, you might be photographers because Virgo has a great eye. Artists for sure. I've yet to meet a Virgo that can't paint. That's a lie. I met one. Anyways, but for the most part, Virgos are very creative, and you guys are a very technical kind of sign, as you know. So organize your thoughts. If you really don't want to be doing what you're doing now, start organizing your thoughts. What do you like to do? Maybe you need to go back to school. Maybe you want to be an accountant. Maybe you want to be a teacher. Maybe just something, right? Maybe you like cars and you're like, I want to be a mechanic. And then maybe you like being a mechanic so much that you're like, you know what? I want to teach. I want to go on this journey of learning more about mechanics and cars and stuff like that, and then you become a teacher. Like, you know what I mean? Like everything's a catalyst to something, to a bigger picture. So don't have a closed mind about it. Those of you that are contemplating, that are artists and are contemplating whether or not to put your art out there, maybe you're like, I don't think it's good enough. Remember, it's art. Art is interpretation. Art is what you see it, right? So, or how you see it. So if you're contemplating whether or not you want to go out there and people aren't going to like your art, guess what? You have a, how do I put it? There's a certain following of people that will like your art. Doesn't matter what it is, whatever your style, right? Just throw it out there is what I'm trying to get at. Don't worry about whether or not people will like it. Art is interpretation. Some people are going to hate it. Some people are going to love it. Some people are not going to understand it. And that's what they're going to hate to love about it. Because they're like, I see this and I don't know what it means. I can't stand that I don't know what it means. But I love it. It's beautiful, right? That's just how we are. We're complicated. Let's see if there's any love messages for Virgo. Are there any love messages for Virgo? Jeebus. You've got 2 5s right now. You've got the 5 of Wands. Damn, Virgo. You got the 5 of Wands. You got the 5 of Pentacles. The Hermit. The 8 of Swords. The Emperor. And the Queen of Wands. I mean, I knew you guys were cynical, but damn. 5 of Wands. 5 of Coins. Hermit. 8 of Swords. Emperor. You guys aren't even thinking about love, right? So let me tell you a little story here. You guys aren't even thinking about love. Right now, you're like, I got my walls up. I want nothing to do with it. I'm tired of putting into situations that don't serve me. And then I get left out in the cold. I would rather go into hermit mode. I would rather be alone. I'd rather love my own company. I'd rather do anything but be in my head and think about love. And because it's the only thing I can control are my emotions, the emotions I barely even have, if any at all, I'm going to control my surroundings. Love isn't on the brain. Love isn't even anywhere. But you know what happens when you're not looking for something? That's when you tend to find it. You're going to have a Queen of Wands that rolls up on the scene out of nowhere and is slowly going to start courting you, right? They're going to know. You're going to tell them right off the bat. You're going to meet someone new, or there's already somebody in your energy. Is there? The World. Yeah. It could be someone that you know is interested in you, or it could be someone that you maybe you had a past thing for, or maybe you guys have had you've had some sort of cycle with this person. It doesn't have to be romantic. Like, you guys could have been friends, and then you guys stop talking, and then this person comes back around out of nowhere, and you both happen to be single, right? But like, you genuinely want to be single. You couldn't care less about love. Like nothing about this is love. This is all cold to me. um, so you're gonna have this Queen of Wands that rolls up. Doesn't have to be a woman. It's all energy, right? So you're gonna have someone that comes in that's passionate, that is good looking, that knows exactly what to say. They know they look good. They know that they know that you're cold and they're here to warm you up. You know what I'm saying? With the Knight of Cups, you've already put up your boundaries. You've told them like, hey, I'm not looking for anything. I'm just trying to be single. I want to be by myself. Like all my energy, all my love, everything, that's for me. Like I don't want to give that to anybody, right? And you're like, I'm tired of being disappointed in love. Dang, dude, I can pull these cards all day long because it's nothing but your truth. Like you are genuinely not looking for love. But you will have somebody that is going to come into your path or cross your path that is there to kind of ignite something in you, but because you're so guarded to it, I don't see you opening up to any love situations in the month of October. For those of you who are like, well, no, that doesn't necessarily apply. So if you're a Virgo that's actually looking for love, let's see what we got for you real quick. For singles that are actually looking for love. So the ones that aren't, don't worry. Your peace does not get disturbed. You might hook up with that Queen of Wands energy though. At least you'll get that. But other than that, you're not looking for anything serious or anything at all. For those that are single, Five of Swords, the Death, Two of Swords, Knight of Swords, Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords. For those of you that are looking for a relationship or are opening yourselves up to it, I see you genuinely starting over. You're putting the past behind you. You're putting all the pettiness. You're like, okay, not every person is like the person that I dealt with for X amount of years. Not everybody's the same person that I have encountered time and time again. There is a possibility for change. There is a possibility for something and someone new. So right now you're at a crossroads about it, right? Because you're like, you might have your eye on somebody, honestly. Like someone has struck your interest and you are at a crossroads where you're like, I don't know if I should even give this person the time of day. But at some point you make a decision and you actually do. You go full force with it. And it's with the Queen of Cups, right? There's also Queen of Swords. This could be a same-sex relationship. So the way that they have their face, the way their backs are turned to each other, you could meet someone that is completely opposite from you, but you have a lot in common with. And so, again, it doesn't have to necessarily be like same-sex. Again, you have two queens, but because their backs are turned, this could be a short-lived connection. I don't see there being like longevity. You're definitely going to meet your opposite, and that's what's going to attract the both of you to each other. So those of you that are looking for love, it's not that there's anything wrong with this person or that there's anything wrong with you. Again, you're just putting yourself out there, right? So like, you're not going to meet someone right off the bat. Some of you might just like meet your person because you love the fact, like this could be your person because you love the fact that they're so opposite from you that you enjoy that. You enjoy someone that isn't calculated. You enjoy someone that is the opposite of you. So for those of you that are looking for that, it is coming. And for those of you who take things personally, don't, because even if that doesn't work out, something else will. Again, you're barely throwing yourself out there, right? You're opening yourself up to love. So that's what happens. All right, let's get some oracle messages and I'll send children on your way. All right, what messages do you have for Virgo? Spirit, what messages do you have for Virgo? Dang, everybody gets 3 cards, but your sign got 4 because you guys have to be extra. So you got water, you got dance, you've got family, and you've got trickster. Some of you might, right off the bat, sit out family. Some of you might have issues within your family right now. the way I'm seeing it is you kind of have little fires here and there. Maybe there's family drama. Maybe something serious has hit your family. Either way, don't be fooled by the quote unquote severity of what you think the situation is, because it could just be like a scare, right? So like, example, and again, I'm not saying this applies to everybody, but like you could find out that a family member like has cancer or someone is sick, right? But don't be fooled or allow yourself to immerse yourself in the idea that this person isn't going to make it through just because it's cancer. Like it doesn't have to be a terminal thing. For those of you that you are dealing with that, I feel like if you are dealing with a family member that is terminally ill, I feel like it's causing a lot of chaos in your family right now, because people's emotions are high. And usually in situations like that, people tend to get out of character because they're emotionally ridden in a way where they don't have the emotional maturity to express how they feel. So there could be a lot of anger, a lot of things said that aren't meant, just a lot of things like that. But you guys will get past that. Dance. I feel like some of you might be dancing around an issue, whether that's a family issue or whether that's a work issue. You're kind of dancing around something that's been kind of making you emotional. Water, obviously, I think of the water signs. So the way I see it is you could be dancing around touching a subject within your family, and family doesn't have to be immediate, it could be friends. So around the closest people to you, you're dancing around it because you feel like it is going to strike up a lot of emotion. And Virgo isn't a very emotional sign, as you guys are earth signs. So you may not know how to react if you were to, say, address this issue and not seem cold kind of situation. So something could be bothering you. Someone could be bothering you, like their actions towards you or something along those lines. Or it could be work. Maybe at work you're so freaking tired of how you get treated. But again, you're dancing around it because for fear that you're going to create chaos in the workplace. And then you're going to feel like a fool. Don't. If you have an issue with someone, don't worry about whether or not you come off cold. Don't worry about whether or not you are going to strike up like an emotional conflict with someone. At the end of the day, it's about peace of mind. Either you got to wake up every single day and deal with the fact that you're bothered and perturbed by this emotion because you refuse to express it because you care so much how somebody else is going to react to it. Like if you care that much about how someone else is going to react to what you have to say, which surprises me for a Virgo, but at the same time it really doesn't. If you guys continue to care about the way you're perceived by people outside of your inner circle, let alone in your inner circle, then you've got a lot of internal work to do, because at the end of the day, that should not be worth your peace of mind. Everybody deserves to live at peace throughout the day to the best of their ability, because there are things you cannot control. Emotions are one of them. So again, if you feel the need to address something, do it, because at the end of the day, you're going to be better off for it. And chances are the person that is creating this internal chaos for you has no idea they're even creating that internal chaos for you. So speak your truths, children. Anyways, those are the messages. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys here in a couple days.